Welcome back to NewsMakers. We are wrapping up the political year with National's number 3 Ilam MP, Gerry Brownlee, the 2025 task force. Do the key recommendations resemble an ACT Party manifesto?
Look, that would be a bit unkind for me to comment on, I think.
Your finance minister said that.
Oh, did he? Well, in that case, I'll agree with him. It shows you how much time I've spent looking into those things. I think some of what's in the task force is doable. What is possible, we'd have a look at, but there's a lot in there that just won't fly.
Which raises a lot of questions, Gerry. Aside from a few jobs for the boys, what the hell was the point of setting up this task force if you essentially dump on the key findings?
Well, the real point you'd have to ask is, the key findings have been identified by one group. There are a lot of findings in that thing. There's a significant number of recommendations in it, and we're saying that there are a number in there that we can pick up, we can work with.
Give me some examples. And we will. Which ones do you like?
Well, look, I'm sorry I haven't got the document here because I do have it all marked down at the back, but off the top of my head I can't tell you specifically what they are. But what I will say is that having as a general economic goal, trying to get New Zealand into a position where we have income parity with Australia over a period of time is a major driver for us, and we've been saying that all year long. Now, if you're just going to do that by going through an exercise of slash and burn inside your economy, then I don't think you're going to have the full benefit of people actually, or that average actually affecting enough people in your economy.
Dr. Brash has emphasised that we cannot catch up to Oz without slashing $9 billion in funding, and he cites all of this wasteful spending on universal entitlements in recent years. Do you agree with him on that?
Look, if you want to say will that formula work, then I'd say I'll agree with that. Is that a formula you would want to put in place? I most certainly do not agree with that. And I think where it misses, the point is that for New Zealand to get up to that level, we need to increase our exports by about 2.7 times. We need to have a growth rate that's around about 1.5% per annum bigger than Australia for each of the next 16 years. And we need, in that event, to have some growing industries inside this country. We need to make better use of what we've got. We need to get our exports much bigger. We've got to have a lot more exports out of the country. And so I think all of that comes to growing your income base as opposed to just slashing the bottom out of things. We've already been, I think, quite sensible in the exercise we've done in reducing government expenditure.
All right. And
that's an ongoing track.
There is a perception building, though, that National is playing it oh so safe. Where is this government's mettle? Where is this government's courage?
I think that's a bit unfair, actually. I think we've got just this week, you've seen us dealing with ACC, which hasn't been an easy task at all. You've seen us dealing with the electricity sector, which has been pretty difficult one. I mean, if you haven't got good energy supply, then you've got a real problem. We've gone out and made it very clear that for oil and gas exploration, New Zealand is open for business, and we've got the biggest exploration season that New Zealand's ever had coming up over the next few months. We are quite open about the fact that we want New Zealand to be a more productive economy. And I think if you look at what we're doing around law and order, for example, which is a huge drain, it's a black hole expense inside your economy. I think some of those things are pretty bold.
Sure, we were talking with respect about trying to catch Australia, though.
Yeah, we are, and those things will help us catch Australia. New Zealand's third
law
biggest.
And order.
Yes, well. If the principle is we've got to become a more productive economy, crime destroys production inside your economy. It's a huge drag on the productive sector.
Should we export them, Gerry?
Well, that's other countries have tried, and but just step back a bit. Oil is now our third biggest export earner.
Sure.
Most people don't know that. It's behind dairy and meat. That can become much bigger in the years ahead. Similarly, you'd look at the mineral sector, which we spoke of just before.
Yeah.
The potential there to grow from what is currently about $1 billion export business to multiple billions relatively quickly is something that we just have to look at. And you saw the difficulty we're going to have around Schedule 4 and getting access to this stuff. I mean, that's hardly a timid approach.
Okay. Does Gerry Brownlee believe in man-made climate change?
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter a jot what I think.
I'm intrigued.
Doesn't matter a
the
jot
audience want
what
to know.
I think. Yeah, well, look,
do you personally sign up to this?
Well, when you get days like today, where it's we're nearly at Christmas and it's grey and periodically cold, you start to wonder what's going on. But
so you are a doubting Thomas?
Look, I'm not necessarily a doubting Thomas. I think there are some aspects of the science that you'd have to have a good long think about. I mean, the reality is that we do spew out a huge amount of CO2 every day. You look at New Zealand alone, we burn up about 190,000 barrels of oil every day, as well as all the other stuff that we're emitting in various activities. And you think about the size of agriculture throughout the world now, much, much bigger than it ever was before, similar results. So that there is a factor there that's got to be considered. But I said it doesn't matter a jot what I think, because we're an exporting country, we're a food producing country, and we've got a world that's going to demand half as much food supply again as we have now over the next 40-odd years. And so we have to be right to the cutting edge of perception internationally about the way in which we do things. And we're very, very good at the way we produce agricultural product in this country.
Okay, we'll have to get a break and we'll scram through a whole lot of issues shortly. Do stay with us.